this is Eric Roberts, and you're watching Bourbon Soaked Live.
Oh, that is so good. Hey there, y'all. I am Juliette Miranda, and welcome to Bourbon Soaked Live, which is the only and best place to be on a Monday night for great conversation and good booze.
Good booze.
Good booze. And that deep, sexy voice behind the scenes would be none other than David the producer.
That is me. Hello, hello, hello. Monday.
Look at you.
It's the eve.
Happy eve of the eve.
Eve of the eve. I was just going to say, that's pretty badass.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of one of those weird in-between nights, where you kind of want to celebrate, but you don't want to go too hard because you know the next night you're going to be hitting it like a maniac.
Yeah, like it stopped me.
Well, cheers to that. We have some great people hanging out in the chat. And before I get to everybody else, I want to call out Wes. It is his birthday tonight. And thank you so much for spending your birthday with us tonight. That's huge.
That's pretty awesome.
So I hope you have a great evening and you're having a great day. And cheers to your birthday, Wes.
Yeah, not going back for Wes.
Whew. All right. Beyond that, I see Container Man just joined us. West Haven, always and forever, is here and says Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We've got Flash in the Pan here. Ginger stopped by. I don't know how long she's going to be able to hang out, but cheers to you, Ginger. And we're just getting things started here, aren't we, David, the producer?
Just kicking them off.
Whew. Oh, good. Container Man, wish Wes a happy birthday. Everybody, give Wes a big ol' happy birthday for us, would you?
Yeah, the virtual social media hug.
I am a big one. Oh, Not a Great Gamer just joined us.
Sausages.
Indeed. I'm a big one on celebrating birthdays. I feel like it's the one day of the year that we all get, regardless of, who we are and what we believe and all that. We've all got a birthday. I think we should all celebrate it.
You celebrate yours for the whole month, though.
Well, yes, because I deserve it.
Okay. Thankfully, February is a shorter month.
Indeed. Blended Whiskey has joined us. Cheers to you. Thanks for being with us tonight. So what do you say we talk about what bourbon we're drinking?
You got it.
Me? Oh, y'all, I have something spectacular in my glass tonight. This is Cream of Kentucky 12.3 year bourbon. Oh, it's just so warming and so good. I've been nipping at this a little bit all day, y'all. This is such a great bourbon. It comes from Jim Rutledge, who is the original master distiller from Four Roses. He's gone off on his own, and he's come up with Cream of Kentucky. Now, this is, I believe, the second release of his. The first was an 11.
It was 11. Yep.
Yes. And wow, y'all, the 11 was amazing, but the 12.3 just, it's so intense. Just that extra, little bit of aging in the barrel. It's amazing what it does to a bourbon. This has got a really potent spice to it, but then, the more you drink it, the more just this fruity creaminess builds. It is just, it's heaven.
You have to be careful, too, because it is a high-proof bourbon, and it goes down so smooth and easy.
You just don't even know you're drinking it.
You have to be careful of how much you drink of that stuff, because
Indeed.
it kicks you right in your ass.
It does, but oh, what the hell. It's delicious.
It is good stuff.
It's really good. We picked up the bottle, a week ago, I think?
We did.
And we were really good about not cracking into it right away. But now that it's open, it's not going to last long.
Nope.
No. I see Wendell Live has joined us, and Container Man is saying that, I know you weren't feeling so well last night, Container Man, so I'm glad you've been able to rally and join us here tonight.
Yeah.
And the Shape is here as well.
Oh, the Shape popped
Great
in.
to see you. Thanks for being here tonight. I'm talking about my Cream of Kentucky right now, and man, I know it's a pricey bourbon, and it's a little bit of a splurge. It's like 100.
It's a splurge. Yeah, definitely.
We got it for 130. I've seen it as high as 150.
Great stuff, though.
Great stuff, though.
You
It
know,
really
if you
is.
want to save up and get a bottle, it's absolutely worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted to mention that Wendell Live, he's doing his new live show, and he's doing it on Wednesdays.
Wednesday night. That's fantastic. Well, we'll have to make sure that we stop on by.
Absolutely. He had his inaugural one last Wednesday. I believe that was his first. And I think he's doing his next one, of course, this Wednesday. I
good
think
deal.
if it's New Year's Day, I don't know if he's going to be too hungover to do it, because I know that he enjoys his wine.
Yeah, we all may be. I see Mike Meyer also joined us as well. So cheers, Mike Meyer. Thanks for being here on our Eve of the Eve episode of Bourbon Soaked Live. What do you say, David the producer, that we talk a little bit about what Bourbon Soaked Live is, the hashtag? That's right. Hashtag Bourbon Soak Live is our little getting to know you routine. Take a photograph of yourself, post it on Twitter using hashtag Bourbon Soak Live, and let us know who you are and what you're drinking. And, we can hang out and talk and feature it on the show. We've got a couple here that I want to call out in particular. Blended Whiskey, you lead the life I want. Every single photo you have posted has been you hanging out in a bar, having a massive old mug of beer in your hands, going to Germany. I mean...
And these were from San Antonio, I believe?
San Antonio, I
Yeah.
think. You are just killing it. I love it.
He's got a bunch of great pictures that he posted with
Yeah,
the tag.
yeah.
He's got a couple of good pizzas there and a beer, of course.
Look at those pizzas. Man, I want some of that.
And then him and his lovely.
I love it.
They have the show up on their phones while they're drinking. That's the way to do it.
Bonus points if you can get the bar to show it on their TV.
Yeah.
If y'all can do that, I swear to God, I'll send you everything that I have in my closet right now.
We do have a prize closet, too.
We will crack that prize closet open, and we will send you everything that is in it.
Yep. And look at the bottles of Dom.
That's huge.
Living
Look at
life.
You are just living it up, Blended Whiskey. I love it.
Great shot.
I see Container Man was in San Antonio today.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
What? Look at that.
yeah. Small
Bunch of
world,
People that we know just barely bumping past.
right? Amazing.
I know.
So that's how this works, y'all. Snap that photo of yourself watching the show, post it on the Twitters using the hashtag Bourbon Soak Live, and we'll make sure we get to it and show you on the show tonight, because I want to see you, and I know everybody else does too.
Absolutely.
I also want to know what you're drinking.
You know, oddly, I'm not drinking what you're drinking. I don't know if you know
What
that
are
or
you
not.
drinking?
I am drinking the Whiskey Acres rye. I cracked it open
You
today.
cracked open the Whiskey Acres rye.
I did.
Shame
Well,
on you.
I'm going to get another bottle for our good friends at Whiskey Crusaders tomorrow
Whiskey
and ship
Crusaders, if you're watching or when you watch, if you watch whatever, we have 3 times tried to send you a bottle of Whiskey Acres rye. And each of those times we've been so in love with it and just looking for something fun to drink that we've cracked it open. And I said, this time
This time we're
no
going to ship
touchies,
it. Right.
No touchies. I had it in a box and everything. And apparently somebody, David the producer, broke into it and drank it himself.
You've never heard of a bourbon thief? You're not familiar with this?
A bourbon thief. Okay, so apparently in our neighborhood, we have a cookie thief, we have a pasta thief, and now we have a bourbon thief.
Yep. And that would be me.
And that would be David, the producer. That's my man. Real Wicked Canadian has joined us. Cheers to you, sir. Thanks for being here.
Great to see Ron,
Always great to see Ron. I see John H. Shelton has joined us. Thanks for being here. Oh, he's drinking a Jack Daniels and Coke. Always a good standard.
JD and Coke.
JD
You know
and
what? You
Coke.
cannot go wrong. And you know every bar will have that.
Absolutely. And you know what I do sometimes if I'm in a bar that I know just has a very basic whiskey menu, I'll order a Jack Daniels and ginger beer or ginger ale and have them dump just a little bit of bitters in it. So good.
That is pretty badass.
It is.
And I don't even like ginger beer too much.
And Scott Ohms is asking the question that he knows will drive me insane.
What is it?
He's asking how the eggnog was.
Oh, you know what the funny thing is? All right, so I went out.
Yeah, so the elf cum, we collected all of it, put it in the refrigerator, bottled it and everything, and me gagging the whole time because nobody wants to swallow that bullshit. And I kept saying, David, the elf cum is ready.
Yes, you did.
And we had cognac for you to mix with it.
Had cognac. So had the cognac, right? Bought the cognac. That was like a couple weeks before we got the eggnog.
Right. Then we milked the elves.
No, I went to a store called Oberweis, which is ice cream.
Oberweis.
And
Where they sell Elfcom.
They make a fantastic eggnog. So I have a bottle of it. It's an old school bottle. It's glass, which you don't see that often anymore.
Oh, yeah, and you can trade it back in, and they'll give you like 50 cents for it or something.
I'm not so concerned about the 50 cents. I just want to get the damn eggnog out of it. So I haven't had any of it yet.
No, it's sitting and molting in our refrigerator right now. It's probably having babies with the cream or something. Ugh.
I don't know. All I know is that I'll probably break into it New Year's Eve.
And speaking of Elfcom, I see Who's Right has joined us.
Oh, look at that. Speaking of Elfcom.
Who's Right is a podcast and a YouTube channel as well. They have a great show. A little divisive, but a ton of fun. Always
Divisive is the word we're using?
divisive. Yeah, that was my first word, but I had another one in my head, and I sucked it back in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, they did a promo of you saying...
having me tell Doug to go fuck off.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I do.
That was pretty.
But never mind that. I love them anyway. We have some new guests joining us. I see Richie Z has joined us. I don't know what it is with me. Maybe it's the bourbon I'm drinking. But every time I see your name, Richie, I want to say Richie Z. Not Richie Z. Richie G.
Why G?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just like pre-strokey or something.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
that's just what comes out.
Cut back on the bourbon, lady.
No. Gemma from Gemma's Journey Grace has joined us. So it's lovely to see you here tonight, Gemma.
ADHD's here.
ADHD, America is here. And we're just getting started. So tonight we're going to be talking about the best and worst of 2019. I've picked out a couple of moments for me that stand out from the year that were either completely heinous or rather awesome. So what I'd love for y'all to do in the chat is point out, whatever you agree with, disagree with on my list, and give me your own favorites and least favorites. So think about the year, think about what was awesome and not so awesome, and let us know, and we'll talk it out right here.
What's your first item? Isn't it the most unexpectedly awesome trend?
Yes.
So whatever you thought was an awesome trend for 2019, or the other side of that, what you thought was completely ridiculous.
Exactly. And the way that I was kind of thinking about this particular thing is that so many random things trend throughout a year. It could be anything. It could be a hashtag, it could be a meme, and it, could be a celebrity, anything. But for me, I think the biggest celebrity of 2019 would be Popeyes Cajun chicken sandwich.
People are getting stabbed over this stupid thing.
Right? I know. And I fucking love the thing. It's delicious. It's delightful. It's crunchy and crispy and juicy. And it tastes like New Orleans.
You know what? I haven't had one yet.
That is unfortunate.
It's a chicken sandwich. I don't give a shit.
Well, you gave up on the line.
Yeah, I gave up on Popeyes.
Well, you didn't give up on Popeyes. You gave up on the line in that particular moment.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, we attempted to go to Popeyes twice. Once through the drive-thru and once as a walk-in.
Right.
And they sold out.
They sold out of the chicken sandwich, yes.
Well, not during the drive-thru. It was just too long of a wait. We just bailed on that. Mm-hmm. But when we went in, by the time that we got up to the counter, we weren't even near the counter.
Right, I know. The line was going out through the door. It was insanity.
When we finally did get in through the doors and we were still about 30 deep, that they announced that they were out of chicken sandwiches.
But you know what's stupid is
the
that
place went apeshit.
I know. I thought we were going to die. But you can still just get their chicken tenders and slap it between some bread, and it'll be just as good, I promise you.
Yeah. And Richie Z says that people seem to, go nuts over Chick-fil-A. I've had that chicken sandwich, and that's pretty damn good.
I'm not impressed with Chick-fil-A.
Hey, I'll eat a Jesus chicken sandwich any day of the week.
Christian chicken.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me a bit.
Yeah, I mean, their politics are whatever. It doesn't really concern me that much. But I just think they have subpar chicken.
Really?
I do. Well, okay, so it goes top of the line, Popeyes, all the way.
Wow.
Underneath that, in the South, Bojangles.
Never had that.
Awesome stuff. We had that. We went when we were driving back from Nashville. We had some.
Oh, okay. I do remember that place. I
stopped.
forgot that's what it was called.
And then underneath that would be Chick-fil-A. And then there's KFC.
KFC doesn't even rank.
What about Brown's Chicken? Where does that fit in?
Only if you get their gizzards.
New Orleans girl has joined us. Hello, thank you for being here. We're actually talking about Popeyes chicken right now. And I think one of the reasons I like it so much is because it has that Cajun flavor. And they have the best red beans and rice I've had outside of New Orleans. It's a crazy thing to say, but true.
So that is your most unexpectedly awesome
Awesome
trend of 2019.
Yes. So, y'all, what was unexpectedly awesome for you this year? I noticed, let's see, John H. Shelton had said that you had to get rid of a few old friends in 2019. They were draining you. You know what? That's probably a good call. You know, the start of the year, it's a good time for kind of cleansing the palate of everything that isn't working out.
Right. Hold on a second. That reminds me. I got to get rid of Doug's phone number on my phone.
Oh, yeah. Quick, delete that before he can call you again. Thank you, New Orleans girl who agrees with me about the red beans and rice at Popeyes.
You know, surprisingly, that is really good.
It really is.
I thought it was going to taste like ass, and it was actually pretty damn good.
I mean, I love making red beans and rice. It's one of my favorite things to do in the winter, you know, and I will actually have andouille sausage and some of the ham hocks and everything shipped into me from a place in New Orleans that I know, just so that I can make it taste a little bit more like, you know, New Orleans. But if I don't feel up to that challenge, I will walk down the street and I will get a vat of red beans from Popeyes.
I've seen it happen. You also have, done up the dirty rice as well.
Their dirty rice is not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. Oh, speaking also of
Dirty rice.
dirty rice, we have Jerry joining us from the Bad Cop show. Why do you look so confused?
I'm trying to read what he's saying here. What is that gross-looking sandwich?
It's fucking Popeyes, Jerry. I mean, you should love it. It's not pretentious. It costs like 35 cents. It's right in your price range.
Yeah, it's right in your wheelhouse, Jerry. There's not a lot you can bitch about. You know, they don't sell Jesus sandwiches like over at the Chick-fil-A, so Popeyes is the way to go.
You can be whoever the fuck you want at Popeyes.
And get stabbed in the parking lot.
Yeah, which I've seen happen once or twice.
Take a look at the YouTube videos out there. Pretty badass.
It's a badass chicken sandwich, y'all. I mean, that's kind of the thing.
Yeah.
I'll stab someone for it. Oh.
Want to move on to your next one?
I would love to. So, this is the best movie of 2019 that I did not fall asleep during. And let me just preface this by saying, wait, that's not it.
Oh.
What'd you do?
Oh. I lost it.
You lost an entire slide?
Yeah, somehow I deleted it. What do you know?
My producer.
Okay, I suck.
Wow. Huh. Y'all, what should I do with my producer?
Is that one of the worst things of 2019 is your producer?
Talk about somebody getting a stab in after the show. Wow.
Okay.
That's sad.
All right. Hold
But
on.
you know, you don't have to pull it up. I can still talk about it.
No.
Oh, no. David's on a mission right now.
I'm
All
on a
right.
mission now.
I see that Jenny is here and she is keeping track of things in the chat. Make sure you follow the links that she gives you because every so often she'll put one up there that says, buy me a drink. And that will take you to a secure PayPal page where you can contribute to my booze fund and buy me a cocktail because I clearly need more booze in my life.
Yeah.
Jerry says I should burn you, and Wes says I should string you up.
There you go.
Look what you found.
I not only found it, but I just made it the whole picture so you can't see you.
Well, that was rude. Although I will admit Brad Pitt looks pretty fucking sexy there.
There you go. Hold on.
You're just slapping that on
Just
over the
slapping it
sandwich?
on. Yeah.
All right.
It's going right over the sandwich.
And this trash heap that my show has kind of become
is brought to you by the producer named David.
who is not drinking the same bourbon as I am. I think his has a higher proof. Oh, Jerry says I should lock you in the garage.
Yeah, been done before.
Roger, who is far nicer than the lynch mob in the chat, says I should keep you.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, Roger's way too kind.
He's a very kind and thoughtful man, unlike the rest of our friends. Nick Jones is here also, so it's great to see you. I see Shelley Starwalker has joined us. Thanks for being here, y'all. And As I mentioned before I started meanly berating my producer, this is my favorite movie from 2019 that I did not fall asleep during. Because it's my personal belief that movies right now are too fucking long. It's not even an attention span thing. I just can't sit through 3-4 hours of exposition. It's too much.
See, that's where you and I are different because my top of the list for this year is The Irishman.
And I loved The Irishman. I did, but it took me almost 3 tries to watch the entire movie because I kept nodding off during it.
It's long.
These movies are not made for drinkers, obviously. And Jerry is asking, what is so great about this fucking movie? I'll tell you, Jerry, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a phenomenal story. It's part fairy tale and part
reality.
Reality
Yeah,
and a
because
little
the
bit of
Manson family.
exploitation.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm actually not much of a Quentin Tarantino fan. I have mixed thoughts about him. I feel that in his older movies, he gets a little bit too full of himself and he draws out the dialogue in a way that does not progress the movie. However, in this movie, every single scene, no matter how long it is, it has a great purpose and it leads you to this great development of a story that is just perfect in every way. And I love the old school Hollywood angle.
Right. Yeah. Hollywood in the 70s, it was actually a pretty fun movie to watch.
It really was.
He did a great job in recreating L.A. in the 70s.
That is the LA that I wish I had lived in. I mean, I was in there in the 90s.
90s, right?
In the 90s, yeah. And it sucked. It really did.
Wendell Live says, yes, that movie, The Irishman, needs a pee break, and I agree with that.
Yeah, like, I love going to the theater to see movies, but I can't hit a pause button, you know? I mean, you're sitting there, you're eating popcorn, you're drinking vats of whatever, you bring in with you in a flask, and you gotta pee. I mean, it's just a fact of nature, and then you wind up missing however much of the movie you do. And it's a pain in the ass to crawl over people to get out the door, and I like doing that at home. Now that we have like a good TV setup at home, it's more conducive to a good experience.
Well, and The Irishman was available. It was in the movie theaters for a very, very short period of time. They gave them a very short run, so it hit Netflix really quick. And watching that movie at home is great because that's the way to watch a 3-hour movie. Not the movie
because
theater.
you can really get comfortable. You can pause it, you can go back to it. Because a little bit of that I kind of had to go back and think through. And that's The Irishman we're talking about here. But with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I got everything right off the bat. And it was just an awesome ride. I saw that Jerry did not like Inglourious Bastards. And that's not one of my favorites either.
No, neither of mine. Probably out of the 9 movies that he's done, it probably ranks somewhere around 7 or 8.
Yeah, well, the 2 that I dislike the most would be the Kill Bill movies. I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood might be my very favorite one of his. And I have a soft spot for Death Proof. I hate the ending of it, but I love the movie Resurrected Kurt Russell. He was my personal god.
See, I think The Hateful Eight, I think that might be my number 1.
Oh, Hateful Eight is a good movie.
Yeah.
Again, Kurt Russell.
Most people would say Pulp Fiction, and I can't deny that. That put him on the map, and it was very inventive for the day, for the type of storytelling, the way he blocked it out.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible.
Yeah, I get it.
That said, Hateful Eight, I just think the acting and just the story is just awesome.
It is an awesome story, but that's another one of his movies that I feel like could be pared down a little bit, especially towards the end, because that they really drag out. I mean, you already know now, who did the poisoning, who was killing people off. So now you're just like, well, just fucking get to conclusion already. I mean, what do they say about long songs? Don't bore us, get to the chorus.
Right.
I kind of feel that way about movies most of the time. But for there to be a movie this year that did not put me to sleep, this is huge. Because I'll say, I really dislike superhero movies. And that might not be a popular opinion, but...
Well, not with a lot of people. I mean, the most popular movies this year were exactly that.
Ugh, they just annoy me.
Yeah, I think a new Avengers comes out pretty much every year now, right? Isn't that the deal?
It kind of does. It kind of does. Patrick Fulmer is here, and he says Jackie Brown. Yes, that's a good Tarantino movie. An underrated one, too, because I think it was his third, maybe. And that's got Sid Haig in it, whom I adore. What's Jerry whining about?
No, I'm not. Jerry's not whining about anything. I think it's Scott Ohm's constant
Who's saying that, yeah, you watch it at your house, you push pause, you freshen up, you pee, you're good to go.
And back to the big screen.
Exactly.
And you can watch it naked. No one's going to kick you out.
I know, right? I mean, me and my dislike pants doesn't really go well.
Isn't conducive to a movie theater.
Conducive to a movie theater.
Right.
So superhero movies just don't do it for me, and I think that's probably been one of my annoyances this year, is that half the movies I hear people talking about would be superhero movies, or Star Wars movies, and I'm not really a fan of Star Wars either. I'll just put that out there.
Yeah, you're going to be real popular today.
I know. I've already said so many things that are going to make people just turn off the channel, but that's
Hey.
That's the risk you take doing this.
Exactly. So I cannot believe your next item.
Jerry says he hates Star Wars. Gemma says she loves Star Wars. I know.
See?
I know. You either love it or you hate it. I feel like it's either
there's
or.
any in-betweens.
There really isn't.
Yeah, with Star Wars. And believe me, I liked the first trilogy. I just thought it became just
Yes.
I just felt like it was cashing in after the first three.
I love the very first Star Wars movie. I think it's called A New Hope now. But the very first movie that came out, I saw it in the theater. And at the time, it was amazing. And actually, I had this great experience. I don't know if any of y'all remember on TV. It was like the precursor to cable. But they showed Star Wars on it. And we had this neighborhood block party where we invited everybody over to watch Star Wars. It was pretty cool. But now, it's too much. Like, it's too big of a world. I can't keep track of all these characters and people and backstories and critters and ears and all of that.
Is it snowing? Is it not snowing? Are we in a swamp? Are we not in a swamp? Are we in a death planet? Where the hell are we?
Why is that thing talking with a Jamaican accent? I don't get it. Well, thank you, Chewbacca.
That's all I got.
Yeah, the whole baby pointy ears. What's his name? Baby Yoda.
Oh, Baby Yoda. Well, it's a trend.
He's cute.
And that's not even with the movies, right? That's with the new...
No, it's with the series.
What's that new series
The
called?
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
You know who has a cameo in The Mandalorian, though, would be Bill Burr, the comedian.
Which is odd.
That's so odd, but I will watch anything to see Bill Burr, so...
And here is Viewed This. He just popped in the chat. Great to see Tony.
Great to see you, Viewed This.
And did you see his new channel? Have you checked it out?
No, I haven't gotten around to that yet, but you were telling me about it.
Yeah. He's he was doing kind of somewhat like an Advent kind of a thing. He was doing days leading up to Christmas. I haven't caught the last couple. I'm going to go out there and check them out probably tonight because I'm doing nothing but drinking rye whiskey tonight.
That is our entire plan.
Exactly. So I'll go out there and check out Tony's channel.
Cool.
His primary channel, Viewed This, is a great channel to find other great channels.
Yeah, he does great interviews and conversations with people. He's really good at what he does.
No, he's not doing interviews. He just reviews the channel, basically.
Well, I'm sorry. It's more conversational.
More conversational, right. And he has a chord that he speaks to with and to, which I still don't understand that, but there's a lot of things in this world I don't understand.
I could list some. But...
Hey, this is only an hour show.
Chris Malloy has joined us. Thank you for being here. We are talking our least and most events and occurrences of 2019. Thus far, I have shared that I love, unexpectedly, the chicken sandwich at Popeyes. And we're also talking about Quentin Tarantino because what I feel like the best movie of 2019 to not fall asleep during is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, I'd like to know from the chat what their favorite movies of 2019 are.
Y'all, what have you been watching? I mean, I know the Oscars are coming up, and I'm not really an Oscar fan. I don't pay attention to that, but I'm always up for a good movie. So if you've seen something this year that you thought was really, really good, especially if it's in the horror genre, let me know. We just watched Crawl last night, the alligator movie.
Surprisingly good.
Surprisingly good, yeah.
Who would think a movie about a crocodile would be any good? I thought it was going to be schlocky. I thought, well, even if the effects are good, which they were, that it's still a movie about an alligator. How good could it be? It was actually very suspenseful.
It was.
The backstory was really good.
Great acting.
Yeah.
Great effects. Just really suspenseful.
It's worth a rental.
And fun. Shelley says she liked Three from Hell. Oh, Shelley, I love Rob Zombie. I will support the man till the day that I die. I was a little disappointed in Three from Hell only because I feel like it was a little too deliberate, if that makes sense. I feel like he was trying very hard to make a sequel to Devil's Rejects, which was hands down his greatest movie achievement ever. I enjoyed it, but it was also sad, too, to see Sid Haig
did not. Well, he was sick, of course. Everyone knows that Sid Haig is sick.
I know. It was just heartbreaking to see him not well.
I think they only had him for like either 1 or 2 days of shooting.
Yeah,
because he's that ill.
He flew out, and Joe Bob Briggs has an amazing story about how great he is with fans, was with fans.
Yeah.
Just an amazing actor and just so talented. Just sad to see him
And
go.
I thought that he made the previous movie.
Oh, Devil's Rejects?
Devil Rejects. I
Absolutely.
thought that Sid Haig was the star of that movie.
He really was. Although, Bill Moseley is just, unhinged
he's pretty rock
in
star,
everything.
too.
And yes, Shelley, I agree with you. Sherry Moon was awesome in it. I was concerned about her a little bit in House of a Thousand Corpses because she was so over the top. But once she got out of that character and just became, more raw and edgy and just, still like gripping and dirty, then she was very cool.
And she's hot as hell.
Hot as fuck.
I know. So now I'm really surprised at your next selection.
Oh, right. Well, I wanted to talk about the most conflicting artist of 2019. And I did a lot of soul searching on this one because I don't want to be the chick who doesn't get new music. I don't want to be the old lady going, your music doesn't make any sense. That being said, however, this particular person drives me out of my fucking mind. And that, y'all, would be Billie Eilish. I look at that fucking face, I want to stuff her in a sack like a bunch of rabid weasels and drown her.
Yeah, she's just a brooding teen is all she is. And she's, I've of course heard of her. You the other night said,
I went down a wormhole.
You need to listen to a couple songs. You tell me what you think of this person.
Also, and pause for a moment, WTF Mike, suck it.
What did he say?
He said, you already are that lady, Juliette. Suck it. And I say that with nothing but love. No, Billie Eilish, I tried so hard. I really gave her music a chance. I listened to almost all of it. I listened to the entire new album.
Right.
I didn't dig too deep beyond that. She had a bunch of breakouts on SoundCloud, but it's just not.
It's moody. It has no music. It's just.
There's no music to her music.
It's a beat. And her
whispering over it.
Whispering, auto-tuned whispering,
yes,
mind you.
Yes.
And it is what I like to call ungood.
So Jerry has called out that's the broad who didn't know who Van Halen was. Now,
that's right.
I have to take a little bit of issue with that interview with her. It was on a late night show. I think it was...
It's Jimmy Fallon.
Was it Jimmy Fallon?
Yeah.
The interview was designed to make her look like an idiot. He was deliberately asking her questions that she would have no point of reference to. I think the more poignant question... not asking her who Van Halen is, but asking her, do you know who Blondie is? Do you know who Pat Benatar is? Talk about the women who paved the way for female pop singers. Ask her if she knows who they are, and her answer would be far more telling than her not knowing who some heavy metal band from the 80s is.
Yeah. One, it's not her genre. Two, she's all of 16, 17?
She's almost 18.
Almost 18.
Yes.
Okay, so she's still just a kid.
She is, and so that is the one thing that I appreciate about her is the fact that as an 18-year-old, she is incredibly rebellious and talks about being rebellious. And that's not something that I see in a lot of the whole millennial youth of today. They're just not, I don't know, they're not interested. They don't have any fight in them. And she has a pretty strong sort of, fuck you, I'm going to do what I want attitude. And that I do appreciate. So,
Did you read WTF Mike's comment?
just because the kid isn't doing blow off strippers' tits and, and starting stripper rebellions like someone else did. Point made.
Point made. And you know what?
Well, that actually brings up a very valid point in that there's nothing sexy about her music.
Yeah,
Nothing.
Well, nothing sexy about her. Well, first of all, she's a kid.
She walks out
but
there,
she doesn't try to be like a sex object as a pop star.
No, and I'm not saying she's got to go out there like Britney Spears did, but I do like my music to have something provocative in it. And hers just is so brooding. And I just can't get into that dance sort of trance gothic beat that it has.
Ah. Hey, you see Bobby Blaze?
Bobby Blaze is here. Oh, what did he say? I can't see it.
Says, such a fan, your bourbon-soaked stories rule.
Oh, Bobby, you are the best. Thank you. Y'all, you have to go check out Bobby Blaze. He's a former pro wrestler. He's got 2 books out. Actually, I think he has 3 books out now. He does a podcast called Bell to Bell. Totally cool guy. Great stories. You got to go check him out.
Wasn't he in the WWF?
Yes.
Yeah. I thought he was. Yeah, Bobby's a good friend of the show. Very cool guy.
So let's see what we've got going on here. Jerry says, I'm not much of a Van Halen fan, and I'll gleefully tell you one of the world's greatest ever rock bands.
Hey,
Okay.
All right, Jerry, we're biting. Who would that be?
Who
I
would
know
that
he's
be?
going to say.
All right. Who do you think he's going to say?
Oh, I know he's going to say Kiss.
Kiss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kiss.
They're fine for a cartoon band.
Yeah, I mean, I like
He's going to
the
kill
whole
me for that.
Night at the Amusement Park cartoon thing. What was that?
Oh, that was so bad.
I know, it was terrible. Jerry, really, Van Halen? Do you think so? No. No.
Well, I tell you the most conflicting artist of this year that I thought was actually Kanye West, because he did a whole album
He did the
about
gospel music.
gospel music.
Yeah.
And really turned to God. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but man, I think his fans were like, what
I know,
the hell is this?
He threw everybody for a loop.
Right.
Didn't they do a documentary on that? Or was it just a small special that we watched? Or something?
I think it was just a segment.
Maybe it was
matter
just a
of fact.
segment.
Yeah.
I don't know. I appreciate it. I'm personally not a Kanye West fan. It's not my kind of music. As WTF Mike will tell you, who believes he can see me singing Hit Me Baby One More Time in my little red car.
Wasn't your favorite song by Pat Benatar, Hit Me With Your Wet Spot?
Best
Shot.
shot.
Oh, I'm sorry. I knew I was close.
You can't hit someone with a wet spot. You have to sit in a wet spot.
Well, it depends on how good your aim is.
That makes no sense. Chris Malloy says, The Stones, mic drop.
Yeah, Stones and Beatles. There's typically people are in one camp or the other. Either they're Stones or Beatles. Not
Well,
a lot that love both.
I have to narrow this down a little bit. We could debate the best bands overall all night, but let's talk about new bands out of 2019. I mean, and David and I were having this conversation too. Do y'all know any strong rock bands that are current?
That are new.
Yeah. Somebody who's got a new album out, who's making new music and doing it really well. And I think the only band that I personally can think of would be Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah, but they're just like Zeppelin light.
They're so derivative
Of Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, to prove our point that there aren't any new rock bands out there that are at least charting, we went out to the Billboard 100
we did.
to look for best or best rock songs of 2019, or what was it?
Yeah, it was best rock songs of 2019,
And none of them are rock songs.
well, no, there were 2 that were rock songs, but they were from older bands that were partnering with rappers.
Oh, right. So they weren't rock in nature.
And I wish I could remember some of the names, but they were people that I'd never heard of. One was called, what was it, Vampire's Kiss? Was that it?
I don't remember.
I don't-
Vampire
it's
something.
Vampire something,
Which
Oh my God, I'm still fucking over vampires, but go on.
No, I was just saying vampires. It's very. Well, I think it's kind of ironic they call themselves vampires because that music sucked.
It did. I don't understand it. There's nothing rock about it. And like we were
No.
saying, with Billie Eilish, her music is so numbing. Nothing is dangerous or exciting in the music scene anymore. And I think that's what I'm missing most when I look at the music that came out this year is nothing feels dangerous. Nothing feels like it's gonna, spark something in me.
Right.
And no, Jerry, it was not the Hollywood Vampires. That's Johnny Depp's band.
And Alice Cooper and Joe Perry.
Is that, yeah, Joe Perry.
I
Yeah.
forgot who else is in it. There's a couple other people that would know.
But moving right along, of all the things that happened in 2019, I want to call out what I believe is the best and biggest time suck to emerge this passing year, and that would be Disney Plus. I have officially lost approximately 9 days of my life to Disney Plus.
Yeah, ever since it came out, you have been binge watching all kinds of crap. Old
We're
Disney
talking
movies.
old Disney movies. Like, I've gone back and watched the entire Kurt Russell archives because he was an old Disney kid. I mean, he was in The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, and that movie is so terrible, but just charming as all get out.
That darn cat you watched the other day?
Haley Mills, another Disney kid, and another great movie.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Disney Plus. Nothing out there except for one extremely cool show.
America, yes?
Stop
I
stealing
totally stole that from ADHD, but now that it's in me, it's never leaving.
Yeah, it's called an homage. That new reality series that we found
Jeff
with Jeff
Goldblum.
Goldblum. It's incredible. It's so much fun. He is such a wacky character.
I have a hard time with him sometimes because I can't tell how genuine he is or how affected he is. I feel like him and his little, oh, I'm thinking about this thing, and now I'm going to associate it with this thing, and now I'm going to do all this with my hands and tap my head. It's a little much.
I love the guy.
But I love the guy. I think he's handsome as all get out, and it's still a very well done show. I see Cheryl has joined us. Cheryl Blizen from our Drift and Ramble friends. It's great to have you with us tonight, Cheryl, who is also a Kurt Russell fan, and like me, that's why she got Disney Plus. What the fuck is going on outside?
Garbage cans are blown over with the wind.
Oh, all right.
That's thanks to our soundproof studio.
There's something going on outside, some sort of windstorm. I don't know. I don't care.
Well, it snowed here in Chicago today.
It did, but yesterday it was almost 75 degrees. So we went from spring to winter overnight.
Yes, it was a little jarring.
Yes.
So I think that most people, and people in the chat call me out on this if it's not true, I think a lot of people are binge watching on Netflix, not so much on Disney Plus.
I think that's very true, and I think that's how people tend to watch TV now, which instead of making a 2-hour movie, now they're making a 40-hour movie and just cutting it up into segments. I don't know if I approve of that or not, but... New Orleans Girl says she's disappointed that 1 or 2 old titles weren't there. What I'll tell you that I've heard, New Orleans Girl, is that they're actually adding more and more of the older titles over time. It has to do with licensing rights, because I was looking for...
But they own the licensing.
They share the licensing on a lot of these older ones.
Oh, really?
They do.
I did not know that.
And on some of the newer ones, too.
Okay.
So it takes a little bit of time. They're not going to just vomit everything up at once.
They did take a lot out of the vault, though.
They did. They pulled a lot out of the vault. A lot of the old cartoons and everything. And it cracks me up if you read the descriptions of some of the old cartoons and old movies. It says, this may contain some culturally, what did they say? Culturally insensitive items from the dialogue from the time, something. I find it crazy that they have to put a disclaimer on an old Disney movie.
Do you think that they'll ever do Songs of the South?
I think they've pretty much burned the masters of Song of the South. I do.
I mean, that is just a point in time. Nothing wrong with it at the time. And a very popular Disney cartoon. But, yeah, it would be tough to show these days.
I know. I understand that entirely. But you know me. I'm not one to burn the past.
Yep, I'm with you. I mean, the past is the past. I don't think that You can't rewrite something that's been written, except they tried with that Christmas song. What was that? Baby, It's Cold Outside?
I've already given my opinion on that.
I
What I
know.
do want to do right now is call attention to Chris Malloy, who wants to know if we're going to be talking about bourbon anytime soon. What do you say we pause and talk a little bit about what I'm drinking tonight, and y'all can tell me what you're drinking. I have the delightful Cream of Kentucky 12.3 in my hands. It's a totally new release, just came out I think a month ago, and it's from the Jim Rutledge Distillery. Y'all may know that he was once the master distiller for Four Roses, and he has sourced this bourbon, but I gotta say, with his hands, and his taste buds picking out the blend, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, and with the high proof, and the proof again is, I'm trying to remember.
I don't know, let's look.
It's a high proof.
It's
I know that.
51% alcohol by volume.
Is that it?
Yeah, so it's not that high proof.
Oh, it's 102. That's it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's got a bit of a kick to it, but you don't really taste it. What you taste is definitely the oak from the barrel, but this is one of those cherry flavored bourbons. It's so creamy, and it's warm. It's got a little bit of sweetness to it, but it's got this tremendous mouthfeel. It's just delightful. It really is.
And you have a couple of entries here. The Chris Malloy, Jim Beam Bonded. Nice.
Oh, nice choice. Nice choice.
And Scott says lovely pour.
Why, thank you, Scott. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. When we saw that it was available, I jumped all over our guy at the liquor store. I'm like, give it to me now.
I had to pry her off the guy. There was leg humping and, promises.
Yeah, it was getting really, really dirty.
Well, at our liquor store, they keep the good stuff behind a glass case, traditionally.
Yes. However, they have started putting some more interesting things aside for us.
Yes. Now that we have a relationship with our good friends over there, that they're putting us stuff that is a little harder to get.
Yeah. He's kind of special ordering one or two things every couple of months for us. So it's awfully nice of him.
They're an awesome store. Give them a plug, Benny's.
Well, it's the Binny's in our local area. Every Binny's store is different, so I'm not going to give out our hometown here. But if you make friends with the guy who stocks the liquor cabinet there for the whiskey, he will do you tons of favors. And since we're putting this guy's kids through college, he owes us
a couple solids. But Binny's is a chain here in Illinois. The problem is that you can't order out of state through them.
In some instances, you can. Every state has different liquor laws about what you can and can't
They don't
import.
ship out of state.
They will bring it into the store, though.
Yes,
because we had them special order us absinthe.
Yes.
And that came in
but
from
you
Switzerland.
have to live in state to take advantage of Binny's, is what I'm saying.
Correct.
Yes.
I say there's a lot of talk about scotch going on in the chat. Unfortunately, I am still learning my way around the scotch, so I can't call out any personal favorites. Just say that it's something we're still learning.
You like the 15 of Glenlivet.
That's an easy answer.
Yeah, I know. Well, we tried the double cask 12 just recently, that was pretty good.
It was very good.
But we're still learning about scotch.
Yeah, it's not in my comfort zone just yet. So
we're still getting used to the peat.
Yeah, it's definitely a flavor that you have to let grow on you a little bit. So I like drinking bourbon because it has flavors that I can identify with very easily. And that's what I tell people who are just kind of getting into drinking bourbon. You got to think about the flavors that you like. What do you like to eat? And if you tell me that, then I can tell you a bourbon that you might enjoy. Me, I like to eat everything, so. What do you say we move along to number 5 on my list? Thinking about everything that happened in 2019, I want to give a shout out to what I believe is the best and most divisive comedy special of the year. And that, y'all, would be Dave Chappelle, Sticks and Stones. Man, is this a good special.
Yeah, it was amazing. I think the ones that aired, I will say the best comedy show that we went to in 2019 was actually Louis C.K.
Yes. So we went to several comedy shows. Louis C.K., in a kind of sneak appearance in Chicago, was phenomenal.
In a small club.
Yeah, it was in what was it? Our local
Zanies, yes, our local Zanies, which holds about 100, 150 at the most.
Watching him own the room and own his issues and make fun of them and bring us into it in a very, you know,
In a very funny way.
in a very funny way was so cool. And what was great too is that you could see that he was kind of working out some of his jokes as we went along. And you could tell that he was mentally taking notes about what was working and what wasn't working. It was fascinating to be that close and personal to a master, working his craft.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an incredible evening.
Incredible. WTF Mike, I'm not calling out Dane Cook. Why would I call out Dane Cook?
Well, excuse me. Well, he was the top grossing comic, obviously about a decade ago, and got a lot of backlash, a lot of feet. As fast as he rose, he fell.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
And he's rebuilding right now.
And that's great. And I will, be happy to check him out when he reemerges. But
I was just never a big fan of his comedy.
no, not at all. Scott Ohms calls out Tater Salad, that
Ron
being
White.
Ron White. And yes, I agree. His comedy show this year was good, but I don't think it was his best.
Right.
I've definitely seen him do better work. However, I love, love, love Ron White.
Getting back to Chappelle, though, he keeps getting better with age.
And he keeps getting smarter in the way that he tells his jokes, too. And what I loved was the fact that he opened the show making fun of the audience. By doing an impression. That was
Yeah.
the opening, right? I'm going to do an
Don't blow
impression.
it for people, though, yeah.
It was phenomenal. He nailed every bit of society that needed to be poked fun at.
Right. If you haven't seen Sticks and Stones by Dave Chappelle, run, don't walk. Get it on Netflix. The only place you can get it, I think, still, right?
I believe so.
Netflix
I'm not
owns those
sure.
things, yeah.
I
Check it
have
out.
to say, I was so, in a weird sort of way, proud to be watching it because I feel like I got into comedy a little late. It was actually my guy, David, the producer, who kind of brought me into comedy more than I already was. And I feel like I missed out on a lot of great comedians and a lot of really groundbreaking comedy. So to see somebody like Dave Chappelle come out with this special, I really felt like I was kind of in a pivotal moment for comedy. It was really exciting.
And WTF Mike says Christopher Titus had a great special this year, too. And he's a guy that is so kind of under the wire. Not a lot of people know about
I
Christopher
don't really know
Titus.
about him, yeah.
He had his own TV show, I think, in the 2010s. For a little bit, a sitcom actually
Right.
on, I think it was Fox for a few years, and then he just fell off the face of the earth. But in reality, what he was doing is just going to the comedy clubs, and he's hitting these really small
Oh,
clubs.
sure. And just working on the material out there.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
been doing that now for pretty close to, I think, 10 or 15 years, something like that. And I haven't caught any of his specials,
Yeah, I
so
don't think I've seen any.
we're gonna have to seek that out. I want to check that out.
Who is the female comedian that we've been watching more of lately?
Michelle Wolf.
Michelle Wolf. I'm
Her
gonna.
last special was pretty freaking funny.
Yes, it was hysterical, and I'm gonna say something a little
Sexist?
sexist here. I'm not a fan of very many female comedians. I feel like some of them fall too far on one side of either trying too hard to be a female comedian, and others fall too hard on trying to make fun of other female comedians in their own sort of way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, they either come off as overly feminist or overly, they're just trying to tell
Yeah.
dick jokes like the guys. And
Yeah,
don't
and they're
really
not really
work.
being true to who they are.
Right.
I feel like Michelle Wolf
I think she's great.
is so honest and so genuine, and she hits a lot of, female perspectives in a very unique way. I mean, she has a very fun time making fun of feminism while also supporting it strongly. She's really interesting. I'm fascinated by her.
I think she's going to do some great things. A lot of people are going to see a lot more of her. Now, a lot of people may know her from the press dinner for the Associated Press.
Right.
She hosted that this last year, and that kind of made her famous.
And I'll admit she's got a voice that's a little grating,
It's a little on the grating
but
side.
she plays it up.
But she's
I'm
I appreciate her
interested in her.
comedy.
I'm really
I like her premises.
I like what she's been doing, and she had a very funny bit about otters fucking things, which I love otters, and to think about otters fucking things just cracks me up.
Is it Elder says what? Overly hoary?
Overly hoary? Ooh, hi, Elder. Overly hoary. I like the phrasing. What are we talking about?
WTF Mike says, I thought she was going to say women can't be funny. I was waiting. Well,
I'm not Rich Voss.
Yeah.
Isn't that his special? Women aren't funny?
Yeah.
Or wasn't that his wife's special?
It was a documentary.
Oh,
actually.
that's right.
Women aren't
that's
funny.
Right. Yeah.
There are absolutely some great women comedians. Well, we were huge fans.
I was
of
a huge
Amy
fan
Schumer,
of Amy Schumer.
and then she fell off the cliff. Man. Boy, when she got famous, her comedy.
I am so
took a
disappointed
hit.
in Amy Schumer because I feel like she's just become a caricature of herself.
That's right.
But
And we loved her TV show for the
did.
first couple of years.
It was so well written until the very last season when it became way too self-aware.
Right.
Like it was making fun of, it was like calling out how famous she was becoming and trying to poke fun of it, but not really succeeding at it.
Well, I'm going to turn people on for people that are fans of comedy and want to find something that's not necessarily new, but is, I think, one of the best comedy specials I've ever seen was our good friend, not good friend, but we saw him out at Zany's.
Robert Schimmel.
Robert Schimmel, thank you for reminding me.
Schimmel.
Robert Schimmel has an HBO special. I don't remember the name of it, but he only had one HBO special. Go out there and find it. It was
Robert Schimmel is
one of the funniest damn things.
so funny, and you have to, and you have to appreciate the irony. The man beat cancer, and then he died in a car crash, which is terrible. But I think in a weird sort of way, he would have appreciated the irony of it. And I see that WTF Mike is calling out Bill Burr.
Bill's hysterical.
Fucking
too.
Bill Burr is the reason I started podcasting.
Yeah.
He is so funny, and if I ever got the chance to talk to him, I would choke and he would hate me, and that's why I've given up my dream of ever interviewing Bill Burr.
See, Gemma just says that Amy Schumer recently did an article that her husband is autistic now.
I had no idea.
That's
I know
new
he's a
news.
chef.
Yeah, we knew
but
he was a chef, and he was actually a pretty popular one out in L.A., I guess.
I had no idea.
That I think that's new news. I don't think that she's had that out there before in the news.
I have no idea. I'm going to say I find all the Amy Schumer pregnancy stuff just not to my personal taste.
Right.
I'm not a fan of pregnancy, but
Well,
it's very alien.
this is not new to me.
No. I see Ganna has joined us. Hello. I am just currently saying how distasteful I find pregnancy to be and how glad I am to never, ever, 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 ever want to be pregnant. Because then I'd have to give up bourbon, and who wants to do that?
No, you know what? I support that decision 5,000%. Never get pregnant. I like
Hell yeah.
that. Yeah. That's a good thing.
Yeah, just ick, so many icky things. So y'all, I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight for Bourbon Soaked Live. We do this every Monday night at 7 p.m. This is where we hang out and we chat and we tell all of our favorite stories. Y'all, make sure you put a reminder, whether you subscribe to the channel, you sign up for notifications, go to my website, whatever. Just make sure you're always here. Monday nights, 7 p.m. Central Time, because, God damn it, we're having fun doing this. Aren't you having fun, David, the producer?
Loving it. And, before we leave, do you want to hit the Bourbon Soaked Live
bring up
hashtag?
Bourbon Soaked Live. Who have we got?
There we go. We got a couple of entries. So, Bobby Blaze.
Bobby Blaze. Smooches Bobby, thank you. I see Wendell Lives joined
with
us.
some Blantons.
Is that Blanton's?
It
Oh,
certainly is. Look at the horsey on the top.
Lovely choice.
That's such a solid bourbon. They really don't even need the gimmick of the horses and the tops and everything
Well, I
because
know
it's
they
such a solid bourbon.
Don't, but for somebody like me who's a little obsessive about collecting little things like that, I think it's awesome.
Okay. Then I'm with you. And I think, the rest of them we've seen. Perfect.
All right. Thank you all. Make sure, if you haven't done so already, take that photo and post it to Twitter with the hashtag Bourbon Soak Live. And Next week when we come back, we'll make sure we feature you on the show. Now, don't forget, y'all, I also have a podcast. It is called The Unwritable Rant. You can find it wherever you listen to podcasts. And my first episode of the new year is going to be coming out this Sunday. You can check it out on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Android, all the good places. I'm going to be talking about a stalker that David, the producer, had.
Oh, and she was, let's just, I'm not going to say anything. I'll let you tell it on the podcast.
It's quite the story, y'all, and has quite the ending. And WTF Mike says, this from the guy who has the gimmick of his hot wife to make a show.
Hey, my mother raised smart kids, or short kids, not stupid ones. Is that how that goes?
I don't know.
Yeah, I give it a shot.
Nice try.
Yeah. Swing and a miss.
So before we go, let me once again wish our friend Wes a very, very happy birthday. Cheers to you, sir. And y'all, have a happy new year. Let's go into 2020 and let's make some awesome shit happen. What do you say?
Let's go in, make some bad decisions.
No, let's make fucking awesome decisions. So cheers, y'all. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next year.
Should